Tell me a ghost story that sounds completely unbelievable but is entirely true.
Okay, so I'm back with another one. So same house, it's my parents' house. We actually had just moved in. We hadn't been living there maybe for a month, if that. It was the winter time when we moved in. I was very young when we moved in this house, so I just remember it was winter time because we had the heat on and we had radiators. And the radiators were just so loud and obnoxious and they were turned all the way up, so it was like ungodly hot in my room, right? So I went to sleep this night. Here comes my son to interrupt the story. So I went to sleep this night and it was so hot and the radiators were just loud and banging. And I remember I woke up in the middle of the night and I had just looked at my arm because I sleep like this. And my arm, no lie, from here to here was slit open and bleeding. At least that's what I seen. So I start panicking. I jump up and I look and my arm, there's nothing wrong with it. And I'm just sitting there like, what the hell just happened? I kept looking, I kept touching it, and there was nothing there. I know what I saw. I know what I felt. Like I could feel it. It was warm. It felt like it was bleeding. It was a very surreal and crazy experience.
Tell me a ghost story that sounds completely unbelievable but is entirely true.
So I have another story to tell. This is a personal story, very personal. So basically, this is the story of how my old place that I used to live at, my apartment, how it got really like haunted. This is the story. So basically, in 2020, 2020, so right where the, pandemic around there. No, wait, sorry, 2019. 2019, I lost my mom to cancer. But this happened around 2020, if I remember correctly, or near there. I was gonna go on a trip with my dad to go visit family back home, and I had to fly basically very quickly. We were basically gonna be flying like the next morning. So we had to go to sleep, like it was like, I think almost 10 o'clock, and I had packed all my bags and my luggage was packed. Everything was ready to go for my trip the next morning. And my dad, I think, had just a few more things to pack, but we were pretty much ready to go. And my uncle, who was staying with us, he was going to stay at our place and take care of the pets, because at that time I had a dog and had my cat. And so my uncle was going to basically pet sit and he was going to house sit for us. So yeah, I'm just chilling in my bedroom on the computer and my uncle's watching TV in the living room. And my dad he was at work, but he was supposed to be coming home soon. And anyways, my dad gets home and I had the door to my bedroom closed. So he knocks on the door quickly and I open it and my dad hands me this plastic bag, and then he's like, all he says is basically, I've done it. And then he's like, I'm gonna go shower now. And he went to go shower. And yeah, he handed me this plastic bag with like dirt on it. So I was very like, I was just like puzzled. I was like, why did you hand me this bag of dirt? And he wasn't responding after that. He just went to bathroom to take a shower. So like I was like, I followed him basically, and he had closed the door at that point. So the door was closed, but I could still hear him inside the bathroom. So I kind of yelled from outside saying, hey, Dad, why did you hand me this bag with like dirt? What kind of dirt what is this? So my dad is like, oh, it's cemetery dirt from where your mom is buried. I want to bring some of that dirt with us when we travel back home and put it in like a little box as a keepsake for your aunt. Because, your aunt couldn't make it to the funeral and maybe anyway, that's kind of what he told me. I was like listening to this in shock. It was crazy. And so, yeah, right after that, I was in shock. I went immediately to where my uncle was watching the TV because I don't know if he overheard what what was being said basically. And I was like, Uncle, you're not gonna believe what Dad did. And so he's like, what happened? What did he do? And so I told him what happened. And my uncle was scared. So and in shock, and just like, he was like, your dad's crazy. I can't believe he's doing this. Like, this is insane. Like, I'm not staying in this house if that's the case. Like, we need to get rid of that dirt immediately. Like, not only is that illegal, but this is also like creepy. You know, people do rituals with cemetery dirt. Like, I don't know what your dad was thinking. Like, give it to me. I'm going to get rid of it. Right. And so I was like, oh, well, you know, I was like, Dad's going to get mad if we get rid of it. Like, let me talk to him. Let me clear this out. Like, he's obviously not thinking straight. Like, let me talk to him and reason with him. So I, you know, by that time that we were having this back and forth, and I get my uncle is freaking out. I'm freaking out internally, but he was freaking out externally. My dad had finished showering. He was putting clothes on, and he was decent. So he was clothed. So yeah, I went to talk to him after that and told him, hey, we can't do this. Like, first of all, I don't know where you got in your mind that this is a good idea. Second of all, we were flying, and I don't know what the regulations are with flying with like cemetery dirt, but I'm pretty sure we're going to get stopped in the airport and they're going to ask us what this is about, and I don't know if they're going to let us fly with that. Second of all, I don't think my aunt would even want this. We're already bringing her like a box with keepsakes and stuff from my mom and all that stuff. So I'm like, we don't need this. So I'm like, my uncle, he's getting rid of it. He's storing it away. So I convinced my dad eventually that was the right thing to do. I can't believe I had to do that. But yeah, that happened. But what I forgot to talk about was the fact that when my dad handed me the bag with the cemetery dirt, the bag had a hole in it. A little hole. So some of that dirt had actually fallen into the floor in my bedroom. So anyway, long story short, my uncle got rid of the cemetery dirt, the bag with the cemetery dirt, but some of that dirt, like I said, had fallen from that little hole in the bag. So we were flying the next morning. So I hastily told my uncle, hey, it's late. I don't know if we want to do it now, but you're going to have to vacuum there or like mop there or, you know, sweep there, because some of that dirt actually did fall out of the bag and that there was a hole in it. And my uncle's like, what? Oh my God, where? And, you know, anyway, we went back home the next morning. It was like an 18-plus-hour trip with, like, you know, the stops and stuff. It's a long way from where I live now to where I'm from. So literally from one continent to another continent, North America to South America. Anyways, so we went back home. Everything was good. We were connected with family. We grieved together. We spent time together. And while I was over there, I would get daily messages and calls from my uncle telling me, hey, I cannot sleep. The house is haunted. I'm sleeping with both the cat and the dog. I'm but barely sleeping. Like, they're there as company because I'm so scared. You need to come back. We need to, like, bless this house. We're going to have to bring a priest. We're going to have to sage the place. We're going to have to do whatever we have to do to cleanse this area, this apartment, because it is very haunted because of a cemetery dirt. So yeah, you know, when our trip was done, we went back home, and that's what we proceeded to do. I think I called a priest to come and bless the home. I don't remember if we saged the home. We might have. I don't know. We did everything that we could to cleanse the area, but yeah, it stayed haunted until the day that I moved out of there. So yeah, very creepy, very weird story. My dad is okay now. I think he was just, you know, everybody grieves in a way, and I guess he had reached some sort of breaking point in his mind where he thought that was okay and there was nothing wrong with it. Again, my dad is not really a believer in all of this, like, mystical or like spiritual or paranormal stuff. He doesn't believe in that stuff, even though he's had stuff happen to him. But I do, and my uncle does as well. So anyway, I don't live in that place anymore, but I'm pretty sure it's still haunted. So I'm so sorry for the people that live there now. But yeah, I mean, I hope they were able to cleanse it finally from the entities that were there. But yeah, anyway, that's my story.